Greetings, Upstanders. Dr. O here. And one of the problems that we are going to continue to see, and I'm going to talk more about Trump and Epstein in later posts as things are coming out as relates to that. But as you already see with people like Megyn Kelly and the like, how they always already working to kind of be an apologist for whatever may come out about Trump, I'm seeing people become apologists or just downright ignore Trump's racism, Trump's anti Semitism, and the fact that he is the tip of the spear, he's the head of the snake as it relates to the issues of anti Semitism and racism and misogyny in the Republican Party. And people don't want to talk about this. Morning Joe this morning, David Drucker's on, and they're talking about anti-Semitism in the party. And one of the things Drucker says, it's historically factual that Trump has been one of the greatest friends of Israel. Okay, so what? What does that mean? If that was such a big deal, then wouldn't the majority of American Jewish people be voting for Trump? But they're not. They went like 80% for Biden and consistently don't vote for him, support him. Why? Because of his anti-Semitism. Why? Because of the things he does to put targets on Jewish people's back. This was the guy who said that, if you don't vote for me, Jewish people, you got to have your head examined. The way that he targets these universities, quote unquote, for anti-Semitism, anybody who knows anything about hate and how to fight hate knows that he's putting a target on their backs as well. But people don't want to talk about this. They don't want to talk about his racism, his former wife talking about he slept with like Mein Kampf next to him. The fact that he's always talking, dined with Nick Fuentes and all of this. Why am I bringing this up? Because this man, not Steve Bannon, not Stephen Miller's obviously behind a lot of this as well, but not J.D. Vance. Trump hires Paul Ingrassia. Yes, Paul Ingrassia, the man from the political text, who put out, the man who said he got, sometimes has a Nazi streak. The one who was just racist comments about Kwanzaa, racist comments about what he called Chinamen, don't ever deal with a Chinaman or Indian. Like this guy, the Andrew Tate parading, supporting guy. He nominated, he nominated him to the office of special counsel back in, and that didn't last because the Senate said this isn't gonna go. But check this out. According to Politico, once again, Paul Ingrassia, who withdrew his nomination to lead the Office of Special Counsel last month, says in a farewell email that he's moving to the General Services Administration. This is absolutely ridiculous. And so when you see this, Ingrassia says, according to this Political article, which I'll put in the description section below, that Trump called him into his office on Wednesday evening to offer him the job. This is not Stephen Miller. This is not any of these other guys. This is Trump. What boss goes and offers somebody who is an anti-Semitic, racist, misogynist, xenophobic, pedophile supporting individual? And I say pedophile supporting, I mean Ingrassia put out tweets in favor of people like supporting people like Andrew Tate. Who does that? And how long are y'all in these media spaces going to keep ignoring that the misogyny that y'all talk about within MAGA starts from the top? The anti-Semitism in MAGA starts from the top. Y'all want to have Marjorie Taylor Greene on and talk about she's just a new person, she's some type of angel now, some type of darling, but won't ask her about her anti-Semitism. Because as far as I can tell, she's still anti-Semitic. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, the way that Trump gets a pass on everything in the same way he's getting a pass as it relates to this Epstein stuff. Yes, there's no smoking gun in terms of his video with the kid or anything like that, but it's not illegal or unlawful to say that there might be something in there that incriminates him. But I see people like, John Howman, on MSNBC and other networks talk about, he's probably he could be so protective of the files because he's trying to protect other people in them. Yes, that could be true, but it could also be true that he's in them with some shady, illegal stuff as well. And it's not illegal. It's not breaking the law. It's not libel or slander to say that might be a possibility, which is what Jasmine Crockett said on a news show the other day, that he might be in there. We don't know. It's like this is how Trump got to be where he is. Everybody tiptoes around stuff. Everybody tiptoes around him. Everybody tiptoes to say, they'll say something about the MAGA people or MAGA adjacent people. You notice Marjorie Taylor Greene still is not directly targeting Trump, even though she just put out legislation to, end the H-1B visa program after what Trump said. But y'all, Trump brought in this man, Paul Ingrassia, 30-year-old lawyer. He brought him in and gave him a job in the GSA. Any of you all who are going to continue to talk about how MAGA is having a problem with anti-Semitism and racism, and they're welcoming in the Fuentes of the world, and the Heritage Foundation is doing this, and Tucker Carlson is doing that. And if you all are going to have these conversations, you are not going to mention Trump by name. You are not being honest. You are being disingenuous. And if you really want to target something, you target stuff from the top down. You target it from the top down. This is the man, he says he wants people wearing yarmulkes, counting his money. He is the leader of anti-Semitism within the party, which is why the majority of American Jewish people never support him. And here he goes, hiring a guy. And let's also remember, he hired Ed Martin, Mr. No MAGA Left Behind. He hired him as well. Also ties to a Nazi sympathizer, and has had his own issues of these things as well. And I mean, and just run down the list. Stephen Miller, like just keep going down the list as relates to hiring people who make racist comments or misogynistic comments. And this is the same guy who wanted to bring in Matt Gaetz as head of the Department of Justice. The people that Trump nominates for positions, by and large, have, particularly the men, have some type of ties to either racism, anti-Semitism, misogyny, anti-immigrant sentiment, sexual harassment, child endangerment, potentially child pedophilia. These are all, or domestic violence. These are the guys, like attracts like. Like attracts like. These are the guys he is bringing in. If we want to talk about being upstanders, we got to be upstanders and calling this out. It starts with him. J.D. Vance ain't going to say nothing about these anti-Semites within MAGA. This dude ain't even defending his wife when these people are coming at her, being Indian American. Like, he's got nothing. Call them out. Stop tiptoeing around what's happening in MAGA and in the Republican Party. This is not a situation where a president is just trying to control situation. Like, the original Bush was talking back in the day about, like, don't vote for David Duke. Like, they would say those things. This ain't that. At best, Trump will say, I don't know him, and then go to a rally and talk about very fine people on both sides, and then dine with these types of guys in the White House or at Mar-a-Lago. Or hire them like Paul Ingrassia. Y'all in these mainstream spaces, y'all gotta really start calling a thing as it relates to this guy. This is how he's always gotten over. And y'all just gonna sit there. If any other president, even a Republican president, hired a guy like that, y'all be all over it. But just like y'all don't want to talk about his health, hey Tapper, like y'all just let this stuff go. And you are part of the reason we have Trump today. You're part of the reason we have MAGA as it is today. And y'all need to own that. And if y'all ain't going to call it out, y'all might as well not even talk about any of it, because the hypocrisy is real. Let me know what y'all think. Hit that like, subscribe button. Let's get to 25,000 subscribers. Get the best-selling book, Lies About Black People, How to Combat Racist Stereotypes and Why It Matters. And let me know what you think, y'all. We got in these independent spaces we're at. We got to speak on it. Stop giving Trump these passes that he does not deserve. He does not deserve them in any way, shape, or form. And as long as that continues to happen, he's going to continue to do what he does. Peace out.